Hold up, let me see this. What does it say? It says,
The ability to create life, and that's
do all feminists think the same? Interesting.
basically what makes you a woman.
Femininity and womanhood is so much more than just, getting dressed up and putting on makeup and just the way I feel. It's who I am on a biological level.
Right.
Men can be feminist.
True.
3, 2, 1, go.
I mean, I'm wearing
True.
a hoodie that says men can be feminists too. I feel like I have to be over here.
I think most men that are feminists are like usually.
Okay, guys, this is a really hot take, chat, guys. I'm not trying to get canceled, but I think it doesn't matter what statement it is. Wearing political statements on your shirt is fucking stupid. You shouldn't do it. I said it.
Either lazy, virtue signaling, just want to see tits, or access to easy sex.
I think it depends on your definition of feminism. Like modern day feminism, I would say yes. Like traditional feminism, like advocating for,
Wait, what did you say?
I think it depends on your definition of feminism. Like modern day feminism, I would say yes. Like traditional feminism, like advocating for, traditional femininity and non-discrimination in the workplace. Like, I think those things men can agree with.
I see what you're saying when you're like, there's this performative feminism that a lot of guys do. So if a male feminist is like, oh, I only support like women and it's just only about that, but he's not even talking about how like feminism needs to support men or like trans people or whatever, then there is a performativeness to it.
White feminist voice.
What? Let's just watch. White feminists' voice are too loud. What?
Voices are too loud. 3,
What kind of
2,
What kind of
1,
question is this?
go.
What?
I somewhat agree, like that white feminist voices are too loud, but then I think that they become really good at using black women or black faces when they want to, push their movement further.
I agree that it's probably not balanced, and I think it probably needs to be more equal. I guess the reason why I'm at somewhat disagree is just because I'm hesitant to say that anyone speaking up for their views is too loud.
I think that's fine, and I can definitely see what you're saying. I just hate like
Guys, I have to rewind this a little bit, guys.
when
I was in this
and
thing.
I think it probably
good at using black women or black faces when they want to, push their movement further.
I agree that it's probably not balanced, and I think it probably needs to be.
This is tough. I feel like, guys, this is just an observation, okay? I'm not making any statements, guys. I promise, okay? I just feel like a lot of times, sometimes people will say this ethnicity or this isn't getting enough representation, right? Sometimes people of color, black people, guys, we need more black people in this. We need more women in that. We need more this and that. And that's absolutely fair enough. Everybody should have representation, 100%, right? We should advocate for that. And then some people do representation properly and they're very good at it. And then people will go against them and they'll say, "Oh, dude, you're only using the face of women or black people or whatever the fuck for PR and to gain cookie points or whatever." So it's like, okay, well, what are people supposed to do then? It seems like you can't do anything. It seems like, according to her take, you can't do shit.
Women or black faces when they want to, push their movement further.
I agree that it's probably not balanced, and I think it probably needs to be more equal. I guess the reason why I'm at somewhat disagree is just because I'm hesitant to say that anyone speaking up for their views is too loud.
I think that's fine, and I can definitely see what you're saying. I just hate like when some of these movements use black women when it's convenient for them.
There's not discussion about the Latinas immigrant, how they get treated on the feminist movement. It's always about.
Guys, I think it's about how you do it, chat. Sometimes it's very organic and normal and fine, right? Right? Well, a new character's added or new whatever's added, right? They're black. Who gives a shit? It's fine. Everything's natural. It's all good. I think sometimes you can feel that it's weird when it's like, oh, dude, let's say you have a squad and it's like 20 white males, right, for like 10 years, and then something happens, right, and it's like, bing, 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 all different. It's like, dude, okay, now you can feel it. Okay, dude, what the fuck?
Either the
I think it's about
pro-choice
how
side
you do it.
or something else that it's more interesting to white.
When you think of feminism, you usually think of a white lady. And I think that's still perpetuated, even though there'd be like a lot of black women behind the scenes doing a lot of the heavy lifting, and often are in a lot of civil rights movements. White women have certain rights they need through feminism as other people, but they're just always taken more seriously by everyone.
I'll read off a list of public figures and you'll go to your left if you believe the person to be a feminist, or the right if you don't think they're a feminist. Kim Kardashian.
I wouldn't say that she isn't a feminist. I don't think that's her number one thing.
She went from doing her show and the whole like sex scandal thing
Who
to
cares?
like, now
Who
she's
cares?
working in law and civil rights, and she's done the whole family thing. Ultimately, I think that Kim Kardashian is a woman that has like done what she's wanted to do.
Amy Coney Barrett.
Amy Coney Barrett, in my opinion, is like the epitome of a feminist. She's literally like a Supreme Court justice in like the highest court of the land. And she totally disproves the narrative that women have to choose between having a career and a family.
I don't really agree with her a lot on her political stances, but I think more so as just being a role model for women to be on a level of the Supreme Court where it's primarily dominated by men.
J.K. Rowling.
Fair enough.
3 years ago, I would have said yes, and there's still a lot of reasons I would. She was a single mom, she wrote all the books, she became a billionaire. The reason I would say kind of no now is her just kind of weird anti-trans zealotry she's gotten involved in that kind of undercuts a lot of her other feminist stuff.
I mean, I disagree that just for the fact that she expresses her own opinions, that now people like literally crucified her and really want to like put her under and undermine everything she has done,
It's just she has such a big platform that when you're talking like this very extreme stuff about a marginalized group, that's really the issue.
Why should women like with a platform be forced to align with the mainstream narrative of what it means to be a woman and a feminist? Like, why can't her own personal journey be enough?
It really comes down to not that it's an opinion, it's that she's spreading a lot of...
She's half true, right? Doing your thing doesn't mean that you have to go against something else, though. Like, if you want to do your thing, that's fine. But if you're going against something, if she's being like trans or whatever, you didn't have to do that. Like what?
Dangerous misinformation.
But based on what, though? Because you don't agree with it?
No, it's scientific facts. Like, she's just talking about stuff that's incorrect. And her ideas about trans men have affected legislation that harms trans men getting the resources they need.
Trans women are women. 3, 2, 1, go.
I think we're all just positioned here based on our political beliefs and as for how we see the LGBTQ.
I mean, I think it's also split between, all the men are on that side and all the women are on this side. I know, being a woman, that there are certain things that we have to deal with as women that people who are not, biologically women don't have to deal with. I mean, we have to deal with having our periods and go through that really awkward stage when we're 13, and people who are, trans women don't have to go through that.
Trans women live their entire lives as women. They don't turn it off. It's not something that they're turning off, and then to come up to them and say, oh yeah, I see you're doing this, but you're not a woman. It's kind of insulting.
How do you live your life as a woman? Because every single time somebody says that, they name the most stereotypical things. It's like putting on a dress, putting on makeup. It's biological. I was born a woman. I can't be a man.
So
I can't be a man no matter how much I try. I can't be you.
And it's just, chromosomes and that's it.
Are the differences just chromosomes, just having children? That's so hurtful and discriminatory against women, because femininity and womanhood is so much more than just, you know, getting dressed up and putting on makeup and just the way I feel. It's who I am on a biological level.
Damn.
Right. So for you, it is the ability.
Guys, can I finish it, guys? Because I think it's very sad sometimes to see some feminists, some in this video, some not, that are very, very gatekeeper of what a feminist is and how you can do it, and a very gatekeeper. It's just very odd. I think it's also kind of sad. It's like
Biological level.
Right.
people are trying very hard to like, you know, be understanding, fight for stuff or whatever, be on their side, be allies, and they're like getting like pushed hard for reasons that aren't even justified in the first place. It's kind of weird.
So for you, it is the ability to create life, and that's basically what makes you a woman.
What makes you a man? Or would you consider yourself a man? I probably should.
Yeah,
ask, 'cause I don't-
I was born a man. I behave as a man. I carry
So
myself
what would I
through
have to
society
do to
as
be
a man.
like you? I want to be a man now.
So we can both agree that our society has things that men generally do, things that women generally do, right? If you start to fall on one side of the spectrum versus the other side of the spectrum, then you're going to be treated as that gender.
I think it's a little obscure that we're looking at it as such a basic requirement, more so that, I mean, humans are much more evolved than any other animal, so why are we still using just the requirement of, well, if that person has a penis, he's a male, or that person has a vagina, they're a female?
I think you're a masculine woman or a feminine man. That doesn't make you that gender. And to try to like deny just basic biological facts, we all learn this in high school. Like, let's stop acting like it's something new and different now because it's like the hip thing to say.
I think there's like a lot of
No,
conflating.
don't say true. Guys, you're downplaying such an elaborate, complicated, and it's such a huge thing to just, oh, dude, you're just an effeminate man. What the fuck is that, dude? What the fuck is that? That's so like a.
And different now because it's like the hip thing to say.
I think there's like a lot of conflating of
It's like if you go through like you're like depressed and you go through like therapy, medication, like a bunch of stuff. It says, nah, man, I just think you're a normal person, just a little sad. What? What are you talking about?
being female versus being a woman. Being female is chromosomal, it's what you're born as. Being a woman is a societal construct. They can align, like
What?
yours
That was a
obviously
good
all
analogy.
align. Like you pointed over here, you're like, all the men over here. The first 30 years of my life, I was a woman. I transitioned. It's a disconnect with what you're born as and what you feel you should
So
be.
gender dysphoria.
Yes.
Okay, I can believe that. I 100% could believe that. Yeah.
If it was just like, I just
Get a weird use of word here. Could and believe.
wanted to be a masculine woman, then sure, that's easy to do. But that didn't work. I'm not gonna say I'm
Why?
male. I wasn't born
Could.
with XY. That'll never change. And no trans person will ever tell you they're biologically born that way, because if anyone knows anything about biology, it's trans people. That's why they have to get hormones and do all this other stuff. And it doesn't take away your womanhood if someone else is a different type of woman. It's a different experience that shouldn't make you feel less of a woman. If
That
they're
was a good
around or
ending to the
vice
take.
versa.
Do
That
you
was
all
good.
feel like the feminist movement should be fighting for trans women within that movement?
I mean, it should be fighting for everyone's genders, whether they're trans women, trans men, cis women, cis men, or non-binary people. That's just part of feminism.
I don't think so. I think it defeats the entire movement.
Every feminist should be pro-choice. 3, 2, 1, go.
I consider myself to be a pro-life feminist, and I think that the idea that we can tell women that they can't identify as feminists unless they say that they're pro-choice goes totally against everything that feminism stands for.
I agree with that, and I think that's actually something that's beautiful about womanhood and women in general, and something that kind of shows ways that modern feminism has kind of been a little exclusionary, because women come from all different backgrounds and thought processes, and I think we should support the freedom of choice, the freedom of speech, regardless of the lifestyle that that woman wants to choose.
If you personally feel you're pro-life, that's fine. Feminism as a movement should be pro-choice to allow anyone to choose whatever path they want to have, whether they want to have children or not have children or have abortions or whatever. But if feminism is pro-life, then you've blocked one group of people from choosing whether they want to have abortions or their own family planning.
One of the pushbacks that I would just love to give is I believe that abortion is wildly discriminatory against women and against people with disabilities. Baby girls are aborted at a higher rate, which is so sexist. And so I truly don't think that you can be a feminist who is pro-choice, because these are discriminatory practices.
So I am pro-choice. I feel like somebody should have whatever type of choice that they want to make. They should have an equal say as far as, hey, this is my body, I want to be able to have an abortion, or just as equally, I want to say I'm going to have this baby. So, and I do believe it's 100% up to the woman. A feminist should probably be more aligned with giving someone their own choice.
I'm not gonna give a take. I think these takes were so fucking dumb that I can't top that off. I can't top it off, boys.
Menstrual products should be free. 3, 2, 1, go.
Just being able to provide, for example, on the low-income school, there's a lot of girls that cannot afford them, and they're ashamed to ask for it.
I mean, I personally believe that anything that you didn't, I guess, ask for, like menstrual cycles, or even, I mean, if we get into healthcare, I think that should all be added on.
I believe that everyone should be compensated for their labor, and I believe that creating and producing menstrual products, it's a service, and that people should get paid.
Well, nobody's saying that they won't get paid, because like you said, you were born a woman, you didn't ask to have periods, so now you have to go out and pay taxes on, you have to pay more taxes than I do, because I don't have to buy, tampons or whatever, yeah.
Is this like a pandemic?
Guys, I just feel like it was a little bit shallow and maybe not as well put as it could have been as of an argument, because then you could say, okay, well, if you work somewhere, right, and you're a woman, and then you provide a service and you get paid for that service, right, and then you're pregnant, well, you should get fired because you are not doing that service anymore. If I used her mindset in her argument, that kind of applies one-to-one though.
Think of women like bleeding.
Or you shouldn't get paid because you're not doing that service. Guys, I'm just using her argument here.
Through their clothes or something, because I've worked with low-income families.
That's not what I think.
This is
That's
never an issue I've ever heard other than on social media. Now, are there instances, or may there be segments in people's lives where they need like things, or they need help, or they need the community to get behind them? Absolutely. But I don't think it's this huge crisis that everybody is making it out to be. I just have not seen it.
Every woman should be a feminist. 3, 2, 1, go.
I would say the middle. Everybody can be whatever the fuck they want. That's my take. I stay in the middle. Anybody can be literally anything that absolutely they want, because everybody's backgrounds are different, everybody's experience is different. It is what it is.
Once again, I feel like that kind of goes against everything that feminism stands for by saying that a woman has to think a certain way.
Every woman should be a feminist instead of every woman has to be a feminist. That's kind of why I went to the strongly agree. Yes, you should be a feminist if you're a woman, because you should want equal rights.
Going back, I think people have really misinterpreted the word feminism, but most women should be feminist, but they are. I think to me they are. I don't know any woman that it's not a feminist, but they don't call themselves that because of the extreme feminism. Like, for example, I like to serve my husband. That's something I like. That doesn't make me not a feminist. That's who I am. He likes to do other things, like change my tires. I will never do that. That doesn't mean I'm not a feminist,
And that is officially a wrap, you guys.
Oh, wow.
Interesting.
I can't put it.
High fives. All right, here you go. High five over there.
Awesome.
I'll give you a hug.
High five over there.
That was interesting. Guys, that was actually interesting. Okay, boys.